Hey, what's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. Here for a little portal talk for OU Sooner softball. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. If you're not new, welcome back. Hit the like button, comment on our videos. We appreciate the support of all the Sooner fans out there that have been a part of this channel for over a year now. Guys, anytime Patty Gasso sends a Go Boomer tweet out, you know that it's something is about to happen. Now, we can talk about things that are out there. I definitely don't want to speculate, but it is worth talking about who are some names that are out there. We did a portal update video the other day where we talked about those who had left the program, okay, the 4 that had left, but we did not talk about those who are out there. Who are some possibilities? Now, there are some names, obviously some bigger than others, of players that are out there. But before we even mention some names, Braden, Jay, and Jackson, let me just mention again and reemphasize who this team has coming in this upcoming class. Not to mention Sophia Bordy, who was a great player who reclassified. But listen here, everyone. Kendall Wells, #1 catcher in the country. Alyssa Parker, #1 pitcher in the country. #1 player out of the state of Oklahoma. Kai Minor, #1 outfielder and #1 player in the entire class. And then Lexi McDaniel, #1 infielder. Three out of those are 5-star athletes, okay, that are coming in to the program. Now, you combine that with all the players they had that played this season who were freshmen and sophomores. This team is flat out loaded in the youth department. So I think it makes sense, guys, that maybe Patty goes and tries to get some experience elsewhere. Thoughts?
Well, hey, I'm not going to mention very many names right off the bat here. I just kind of want to talk about the whole portal and what OU is going to do here, because I think it's a fine line when you're this good at Oklahoma, when you have this many players coming in the recruiting class. You saw what happened to Corey Hicks this year. She didn't play very much. She left. Well, when you have players coming in that are ranked 4 of the top 5 players overall in the overall class are coming in, I think it's going to be interesting to see what Oklahoma does. You mentioned experience, but for instance, you bring in experienced pitchers last year, Bella Smith, Sam Landry. Audrey Lowry pitched some, but not at some point, I think they're going to rely on some of these freshmen. I mean, you look around the country, players like Tegan Cavan pitched a lot as a freshman. Catcher, Atwood. I mean, you can – a lot of players come in as freshmen and just start. So When will that happen at Oklahoma, and who will that be? I think that's what you got to kind of figure out is, okay, let's dwindle this down. What players coming in do you think may start right away? And then what positions do they need experience in? Because I think Patty's also got to realize, hey, you can't just go get experienced players and you're going to put your stars on the bench if they might end up being better than some experienced players you go get. So it's a fine line. They do need some experience, but at what positions, guys?
Right. And I think something that needs to be talked about too is you can't over recruit just going for experienced players and allowing these young players to not get on the opportunity to play, because you have, Audrey Lowry, she pitched some, but obviously she's going to want more of an opportunity next year. Sophia Bordy, what does it look like for her next year with her getting the year to practice with the team? I know she was away from the team for a little bit, but she still had the opportunity to practice. She was with the team for a while, and she would be the #1 arm in this class, but she reclassified, so that nod went to Alyssa Parker. So Oklahoma, they technically have the top 2 pitchers in the 2025 class. It is, which is just crazy, Jeremy. I see you nodding your head. But, like in the portal, is the first tweet that Patty made, could that be a pitcher? We don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and find out. But I think they do need probably another arm and ace type player, whether that's a Bergeron from LSU. I know there's Caitlin Terry from UCLA who plays offense as well. Also, she's a lefty on the mound. So Oklahoma, is it maybe the girl from Belmont? We're just going to have to wait and see with that. And who knows? It could be a position player that we're not even talking about right now. But I think Oklahoma, I think we all agree that they need some sort of experience there with how young this team is.
Braden, I know we've got Braden on here too. Thoughts on who you think possibly, I mean, just some names in the portal that you would be expecting OU to maybe look at?
I'm expecting Caitlin Terry from UCLA or Sydney Barancha, the girl from LSU.
Yeah, I think
Hey,
Bergeron as
guys,
well.
the difference in those two guys is Sydney Bergeron's a right-handed pitcher, pitched, I think, 139 innings this year. You compare that to something Sam Landry did, which is 194 innings. So she did pitch a lot. She was kind of their go-to. And she was all SEC second team this year. You also have the other one is Caitlin Terry. Now, she's a lefty. I'm sure everyone saw Kenzie Hanson's tweet from Justin McLeod where she retweeted and said, I know someone who loves who loves to work with left-handed pitchers, like implying about Jen Rocha and OU. They have Kirsten Dill, who's a lefty now, but they also have Audrey Lowry, who's a lefty. And then Patty has been known to go get experience elsewhere of players maybe that people don't really expect. And one of those was Sam Landry. Sam Landry was really good at Louisiana. She just was, okay? Bella Smith, they brought in from Campbell. But Patty knows what she's going to want with this team. And if you just look at last year, it could be – she talked a lot, guys, in post-game, even in the Women's College World Series, about how this team experience-wise maybe was lacking in some things. So I would expect them to get someone who's been there before. Caitlin Terry did pitch in the Women's College World Series this year. I'm not going to speculate on who they're going to get, but I think experience is probably the number one characteristic that they want. They don't need to go anywhere else and get youth. They have all the youth in the world, and they have all the elite talent in the world. In fact, you probably can't bring anyone in that's more talented than what you've got on campus, but you could bring in someone with more experience.
And
Hey, go ahead, Jackson.
I was going to say something that I don't think we've talked about a ton, and this is now obviously something that I think maybe we could see Oklahoma do. I have no information on this, but Isabel Emmerling at points, she was a liability for this team, especially offensively and even defensively. She had an issue throwing on runners. So does maybe Oklahoma, do they go and look for a catcher, maybe have an open competition there, and maybe kind of hoping that drives the best out of Emmerling, because you did lose Hicks, and I know you have Wells coming in, who she's the number one catcher in the country, but I don't know if you necessarily want to have her as just a backup right away. Allow her to kind of just grow and learn and develop. So is there maybe potentially another catcher that gets pursued, somebody that has maybe done more at the plate than what Emmerling did last year, even at North Carolina? So I think that could be something to watch for. And then, but I mean, outside of that, I think really all your spots in the field are pretty good. I think you're mainly just kind of searching for whether it's experience at the pitching spot, maybe a catcher, maybe, I mean, you can never have enough good bats. So maybe that could be something you get someone that could just come in and be an extra bat for depth. So it's really interesting to see what Oklahoma can do, because Gasso, there's a ton of different things that she can do, really, with just how young this team is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you guys. I mean, if you had to say right now, what are the two positions of need the most? I think catcher could be one of them. It just depends on what they do with Emmerling there. But the other one, guys, haven't talked about a lot is who they're going to throw at first base. Sanders is gone. Defensively, you got some options, but that's another position you look at. Okay, who's going to play that full-time role there? They played Barker there a lot this year. You wonder if they'll try to keep her there in that position. But I look at the portal this year as a little bit different in years past, because last year they were replacing so many players with experience. This year it's a little different, guys. I think you're going to go get maybe a few of the best players you can get in a role that they can come in and play. But other than that, like Jeremy said, you're not going to go get young players that are any better than what you got coming in. So this will be an interesting portal class. I don't think it'll be one that'll just be goo goo goggling over who they get out of the portal this year, because I don't think they need a whole lot. I think they need a few really good pieces. That's it.
Yeah. Hey, drop your comments in the chat of who you think maybe this Go Boomer tweet could be. There's names out there, but again, I think experience is kind of going to what they're going to go with. And the catcher position, Jay, Braden, and Jackson, something they have to go after. In the portal, in my opinion. But hey, we're going to have it all. We'll cover it all here at the Sooner Surge. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Appreciate you joining, and we'll catch you next time, Sooner Nation. Boomer.